Hi there, I am Rosalind Yukich from A Little R&R. You can find me at www.rossilind.jukic.com. And thank you for joining me, Christina and Marina. I'm so glad you guys are here, and I saw Jana popped on a little bit ago, and so I'm so glad that you all are here joining me today. I am good morning. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. I am a homeschool mom. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And we are currently homeschooling our 5-year-old. And right now, I'm so glad you're here, Marina. Right now, we are homeschooling our 5-year-old. It's temporary. So we do plan to enroll him in first grade when he is ready for first grade. So, and whether or not we will actually continue at a later date with homeschooling is still kind of up in the air. But I am actually doing first grade with him here at home because he loves to learn. He's eager to learn, and he just loves going to school every day. So I have actually been able to get a hold of a bunch of curriculum, and so oh, good, you were wondering, yeah. So I have gotten a hold of a bunch of things, and so we're doing school at home, and we are really serious about it. We do school every day, and we hit all of the subjects: math, social studies, science, music, writing, reading. We do all of the typicals. And so today I wanted to share with you what I have been doing when we get behind in school. I know that this sounds kind of funny because we're only 2 weeks into school and I'm already behind. So what do we do when we get behind in school? And by the way, just that you know, homeschooling is 1 year at a time, sometimes 1 day at a time. That is definitely true. That is definitely true. That's what I'm definitely finding. And you know, it's interesting for me being on this end. I'm a second generation homeschooling mom. I was homeschooled from 4th grade through high school. I graduated from homeschool. So it's kind of interesting now being on this end of it and thinking, wow, you know, I wonder what my mom did. And interestingly enough, of course, they started homeschooling when almost no one was homeschooling. So they didn't even have a lot of the resources that are available today. So it must have been very difficult for them, I can just imagine. But yes, homeschooling is definitely 1 year at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 week at a time. And so here I am. And I just wanted to let y'all know, and even if you're not a homeschooling mom, please chime in with your ideas, because at the end of this scope, I'm going to be putting a question to you. So what do you do when you get behind in homeschool? And I hope that you chime in with your answers or ideas. Even if you're not a homeschooling mom, doesn't mean that you don't have any ideas, because I'm sure that you can come up with some really great ones. And so I'm hoping that you're going to chime in at the end of this scope and let us know what your ideas are or what your methods are. So first of all, I just want to say we've decided to do 3 weeks of school and then a week off. So the last week of the month, we take a break, but I do homeschool year round, so we don't take a summer break. What age do you homeschool? I'm homeschooling my 5-year-old, but we're doing first grade. So we've already done kindergarten. He passed that up last year. So we're doing first grade with my 5-year-old, and then a preschool with my 3-year-old, which is and preschool is basically keeping him occupied while I'm working with my 5-year-old. And so sorry, this is kind of jumpy a little bit. So we're doing 3 weeks on, and then a week off at the end of the month, and then like I said, I'm homeschooling year round, so we don't take a summer break. But this week and last week we did really good. We kept on schedule. We started on target. This week we got a little bit off, and as I scoped, I think it was last week. I'm pretty sure it was last week. I scoped about the fact that, our challenge is that my husband works 3 shifts. So his shifts change every week. And so that tends to sometimes interrupt our homeschool schedule a little bit. And so I've kind of gone into this year anticipating that there will be probably some interruptions here and there. And so that is the first way that we kind of recover from being a little bit behind in homeschool is using that week off to do any catch up that we might need to do. So that week is there in case we need it. Another thing that I'm doing is that I have not planned out the entire year. Now, I'm a little bit of an OCD planner, so that kind of has, me kind of in a panic sometimes. I don't have the whole year planned out. I really need to have the whole year planned out, at least penciled in. But I decided to not do that because that way, if we decide we need to work on something a little bit more that, one subject or an area of a subject needs more attention, or if he's moving faster in another area, then that way we can kind of accommodate for that so that way it's more tailored to him and not just going, okay, we did these pages last week, now we have to do these other pages, this week. And so that way, if I need to focus a little bit more on, say, like, addition, because he's just not connecting with him, but he's really advancing, like, say, in reading, so he's moving ahead a lot quicker. That way, I'm not having to go, like 3 or 4 months from now and cross a whole bunch of stuff out and white out and all this kind of stuff. So that way I can take it a month at a time. So I'm planning a month at a time. And then just evaluating when I get to the end of the month, how are we doing? Where do we need to focus more on? Do we need to go back and kind of redo some stuff that maybe, I feel he didn't catch? So then that helps too. So if we get behind and we're really behind and we're not able to catch up, then I can go, okay, next month, let's just start from where we left off and just keep going. And then the last thing that I'm doing is, and this might not, some of you this might not work for everyone. This works for us. My 5-year-old does not know that school is only from Monday to Friday. He has absolutely, he's learning the difference between, Friday and Saturday. But, it's not been ingrained in his mind yet that school doesn't happen on Saturday. So this week, because we're doing some major catch up, we're almost caught up. And so tomorrow, we will be doing school tomorrow. And to just kind of make sure that we get the rest of this week in before we start next week. And so those are the 3 things that I'm doing today for my blog subscribers, because this year for 2015, I'm doing a free download for my blog subscribers every week. So every Friday they get a freebie in their mailbox, in their inbox. I made a weekly planning sheet. I know this is backwards, but you guys get the gist. So we have, you can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There are 6 subjects, and then you can write the pages in. You have notes at this on the side, and then you have, at the top, the child's name, the month, and the week. And then, if you like, so if, to do like a monthly planner, you just print out 4 of those, and then you can do your whole month right there on that planning sheet. And then last week, I scoped about my daily sheet that I do, and hold on a second, I will actually show that to you. I only do 1 color copy. I try to save on ink and do everything else in black and white. So here is, and I'm gonna try to get my clipboard up here. So the top looks almost exactly the same, except for that it says daily, and then you have the subject, you have the pages or the project that they're doing, and then you get a nice little check box at the bottom where you can check it off when you're done. I love that because I don't know about you, but I love checking stuff off. And you have a nice wide column on the side for notes that you can take. And so both of those, all of my previous printouts from the entire year so far are available to my blog subscribers. And then today, the new one is the weekly planning sheet. So you can download that and use it if you want to. And I cannot wait to fill mine in today. So that's what I have. So the 3 things that I do is we do 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and then we can use that week to catch up if we need to. If not, then it's a nice break for both my son and me. And then, sometimes we use Saturdays to catch up. And then sometimes if it's just, if we're behind, because there's some things that sometimes you get behind just because you're having to focus more on one thing than you anticipated and you planned for. Sometimes it's, he's just not getting the concept. You have to spend, a couple, 3 days on one thing that you had planned to just do for one day. And so sometimes when it's that way, when that's the reason why you get behind, you can just look at, not plan, months in advance, just do, a week in advance or a month in advance, however, whatever works for your schedule. And then that way you're not having to go months ahead and mark out stuff and white out and stuff like that. So those are the 3 things that I do. So now it's your turn. What do you do when you get behind in homeschool? Because I imagine I am not the only one that gets behind in homeschool. At least I hope not. Oh, I hope you guys make me feel better, please. Okay, Christina says, I use weekends sometimes. Life in Croatia is slower than America. We can easily use Saturday. Yeah, it is slower. It is that is definitely for sure. Christina lives here too. She lives in a different town than I do, but we've met a couple times. It's been really nice, and so she is here as well. So anyone else have any comments that you want to make or suggestions, or what your method is? What do you do when you get behind in homeschool? Just chime in. Just use that chat there at the bottom. And also, if you don't have any, if you're just like, I'm here because I need to get some ideas and I have no ideas, chime in and let us know, what grades are you homeschooling for, how many children are you homeschooling? Just kind of give us some idea of what you're doing. Like I said, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. We need to again soon. Yes, we do, Christina. We definitely need to. Let me know when you're over in my area. And we have only one car, so we don't ever get out of our area. At least not at present. So like I said, I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And my 3-year-old, we're doing preschool, so we're just doing the basics: colors, shapes, letters, numbers, and all of that. And then I have a 5-year-old where we're doing first grade with. And so, and he is just advancing so quickly. Today we were reading, 5 and 6 letter words, and he was actually grasping that and writing them. And so he's moving pretty quickly. I'm a little bit amazed by that. Marina says, be outside in nature. Yes. That is one thing that I have to admit that I'm not as good with as I need to be. And I thought I would be, living in a house, and we have a nice big yard and everything, but sometimes it's hard. It's hard as mom sometimes, because you're like, if I go outside, that means I don't get dishes done. So it's a difference between getting dishes done tonight or actually going outside, because we kind of have to keep ours supervised when we're outside still. Pretty soon, I won't have to make those choices. I'll just be able to tell them to go outside and let mom do the dishes. Neither is true. Isn't it true, though? It is. It sometimes is hard, because you're like, clean the house or go outside. They want to go outside, but the house is a disaster. So what do? We got to make a choice. So, well, thank you guys so much for joining me for this. I know this is a short one. This one's, and probably not, maybe terribly too, informative. I hope it was. And so I understand you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. But I just thought I would just share that and just kind of give you a little bit of a glimpse of the principle that I have available for today for my blog subscribers, and just to kind of hear you guys, because these afternoon scopes, I like to do question answer. So I like to, put out the question, let you guys give some feedback, so it's not always just me giving information, but that I'm hearing a little bit from you guys too, which is why I absolutely love Periscope. And thank you for the hearts. I love all those hearts. I just love it. And then next week, I think I'm going to be able to resume my evening scopes as well, because I'm kind of missing those. But in case you've been wondering, why hasn't she been scoping in the evenings? Well, evening's my time. That would be probably afternoon y'all's time, if you're in the States. And the reason is because my husband is first shift this week, and he's home in the evenings. So, evenings are for him, because family comes first. But next week, then he'll be on a different shift. So then I'll be able to resume my evening scopes again, which are, more a little bit behind the blog kind of scopes. So you kind of get a glimpse into our family, and it's more chatty. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you enjoy your school day today. We did. We had a lot of fun with school today. It was catch up, but we had a lot of fun. And so tomorrow, because of course, like I said, we're going to be doing school tomorrow, even though it's Saturday. Tomorrow is craft day, because Fridays are usually our craft day. We've been talking about lions. So we're going to make a lion, and I think that is going to be a big hit because my kids love doing crafts. Probably yours do too. So maybe we should do a craft periscope sometime. I am not terribly crafty. I'm not very creative in that direction. Playing cards is great inside memory. Yes, my boys love memory too. My 5-year-old kicks in my rear. My goodness, I can't ever win memory with him. He has a memory like an elephant. I swear, it's like photographic memory or something. But yeah, I mean, he just really, I mean, he beats me every time. They love playing with cards. And so, yeah, we're going to have to do maybe make, a craft one where I kind of show a couple of the crafts that I've done, and then you guys can probably show me your super amazing, awesome crafts, and kind of maybe even give me some tips and pointers of doing crafts with kids, because that's not my strong suit. I will admit it right away. I am extremely creative in everything, but my creativity does not run in that direction. Marina says playing cards is great inside. Oh yes, it's a repeat. I think Periscope is doing repeat comments today, because I noticed that it repeated one of Christina's too. So I think it's kind of doing some wonky things. So I'm going to go ahead and close this scope for now. Thank you guys for your feedback. Thank you, Christina, for your feedback, and Marina. You guys have been awesome. Once again, if you, I'm just going to, let me try to see if I can nah, I'm not going to try that. I don't know if it'll work. So this is the freebie for this week for my blog subscribers. It's a homeschool planner weekly sheet. So you can plan out your week. You can actually do a month in advance with this just by printing out 4 or 5 copies, which is what I'm going to be doing, so that I can get the month of September planned. And then if you were looking for that daily sheet in today's newsletter that you'll get from my blog, you will see a link there that will take you to all of the 2015 printables. So you can actually just pick and choose what ones you want to do, or do them all if you want. So that's that. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been informative. It has definitely been informative for me to hear from you guys. And I will see you again tomorrow.